might tell a bit more of a story this time. I'm just doing more of the same. But I enjoy videoing. I don't really do this for anyone else other than myself. When I'm not fishing, I can watch old fishing videos. Think about these. This is Box Head here. Was in the distance a sea eagle flying off here before. This is actually one of the choppiest bits on the way out. Because you've got the waves crashing off the headland there. So you've got water moving both ways. It just makes it a bit of a washing between watches. Now this is nothing, this is like 1 out of 10. One of the reasons I don't fish here like those blokes, you bob around like a cork. And it's just not fun. So it's just another perspective to, when I do my usual thing and head out to West Reef. Pretty well straight ahead now. Zoom out on the GPS chart. Where that boat is down there, heading on the outer reach right there. Probably can't hear a thing I'm saying over the motor. Good old 2 strokes. A little bit of breeze, maybe 5 knots. For all intents and purposes, nothing. Fishing outside. When I'm looking down like that, I'm just looking at my navigation, and I've got the GPS unit there, which is useful. I'm just going to zoom it out. You can see where I'm heading. But also, never discount the good old compass. And in fact, one time I was outside and there's no reference points, I tend to navigate more from a compass than I do from the GPS. I noticed the other day when I got the inspection, you used to have to carry a paper chart of the area where you are for navigation purposes, but they've now finally, looks like they've changed the law so that one of these babies is sufficient. See there, about where those 2 boats are out there. They look actually a little bit wider of the reef. Anyway, now I've taken a big gamble today, no seasick bill. I figured my only had a 24-hour session on the boat a couple of days ago, plus an earlier trip in the week. I've got the sea legs. We'll see how we go. Generally I'm okay on my boat. Other people's boats, forget it. The reason I wouldn't take a seasick pill is they make you tired. They ruin your whole afternoon. And Sunday afternoons is about having a few cans and watching the footy, and if I have a seasick pill, I'll be fast asleep. So we're nearly there. Give you a look. Oh, my little triangle out there. I'm going to stop looking at this, because that's a really, really good way to get seasick. Focus on start reading things. So we're looking out here like I'm doing, looking at the horizon. 200 metres away now. reef, you see we're in 21 metres of water now. You start looking for a depth. It's now down to 17, the nose on over the reef. Now I'm not sure which way this wind is coming from, what little wind there is. So obviously what you would normally do is start on one side of the reef, extreme side, and drift all the way across, so you're over it for the maximum amount of time. But today, when I'm starting, I'm now on 11 metres, I'm smack bang in the middle of the reef. I'll just stop here right in the middle. And just start from here, and then I'll work out which way the drift is. And if you've watched all my other videos, just pull my ducks up here. This is going to be much of the same. Now this one doesn't have a sinker on it because it was from fishing the other night when it was really calm. There wasn't much of a drift. So I'm just going to cast this one out, and I'll let that one sink, and we'll see what we're doing. It will probably need a sinker. These ones with sinkers will go straight down. The story of this fishing session is Katrina came home from her run this morning. She's out running. I was obviously fast asleep. And goes, oh, it's really flat outside. She's gone for a run down past Yamora Beach. So I've thought, she goes, why don't you go fishing? She's a smart lady, Katrina. So this one's on the bottom. This one, that one's closed off too. That will be on the bottom. And we all know the routine from here. And this yellow one caught a fish the other day, a squid. Now, sinkers on this bait board are super annoying. So I think the wind is from the southwest, so it's pushing me to the northeast. So I know now, the boat tends to, because this is like a sail over here, the boat will tend to, it's done now, just go straight, like nose with the wind. So what I'll do here, is just, I take note, so pretty well when I go to do the drift again, I head back the way I've come. And if we look at the chart here, you can see we're sort of drifting off that side of the reef. So we're in 13 metres now, and you can see on from the thing there, 10 metres at its shallowest, and it goes down to about 23 metres the way we're going. So what I'll probably do is just have a couple of flicks with this, as I do. Let it right down. I'm going to try editing this video out when I get home. Just do the highlights more than everything, just for something different. I'm not very good at the video editing program. Alright, had a quick relocation, come about 7 or 8 k's I suppose north. Now if you were to scuba dive right at this spot, you'll find on the bottom squid jigs. Most of them mine. It is super snaggy. So I'm just going to lower 2 down to start with, have a bit of a prospect. Actually, I might even cast it up a fraction. It is beautiful here. There's no doubt about that. But fishing in close, right in like this, you do get the, as I mentioned earlier, the waves reflecting off the rocks there, and that can make it a little bit choppy, which when you're flirting with the thing of not having had a seasick pill. It's just a matter of managing it. Now, I've got to do I promised myself from now on, life jacket. I'm from the era sort of when the old-fashioned life jackets are just horrible. They really were terrible bloody things to wear because they were bulky and so forth. But these new ones, once you've got them on, you don't really notice they're there. So I think it's worth using them. Alright. There's a bit of a drift here. I'm just going to pull this back. Pull me back. And make sure that these are on the bottom, which this one is. And that one is. Alright. I'm going to flirt with death and put another one down. Phew, that fucking dirt sort of stinks. There's birds, there's a school of fish feeding out there, which is why those birds are feeding. I'll have a look on the sounder in a minute. He didn't bring any bait. I didn't actually intend to come here, and I have got a whole freezer, much to Katrina's disgust, full of bait. But if they're feeding on the surface, it could be salmon and it'd be worth chucking the lure through them just for a bit of fun. Alright, that one must be close to the bottom. I'm just going to pull this back. Okay, that's now on the bottom. So we are in 20 metres of water. It rapidly goes down to about 30. So I'll use the motor just to hold us here. Could put out a sea anchor. That would require effort. Come on, babies. Squid babies. You know you want to do this. So what a day. There are thunderstorms coming, and out there on the horizon is probably evidence of those. They're due in at about, the wind will pick up gradually from about 1:30, 2 o'clock, and then there's a few thunderstorms predicted. So they seem to be out to the east of us at the moment, but obviously where I'm looking now to the south is where I want to be, just keeping an eye on. Because even though it's not far, I mean, you can see straight down that way. You can, nearly plugged a thong then. That's Barrenjoey, straight out there. So it's not far. Remember, Box Head, you probably can't see. Barrenjoey's the rocky sort of outcrop there with the lighthouse on top. So to get back to there is not far, but the weather is going to come from the south, so it means just be bashing into it. Just uncomfortable, doesn't do my back any good, being an old front rower. So it's a matter of just being sensible and keeping an eye out. Unfortunately, being in a very seaworthy boat, you know, the guys who get caught come out here in tinnies. I saw a YouTube video the other day where a bloke described a tinny as an oversized aluminium can, which is kind of what they are. Doesn't take much for them to go over. At least a boat like this is heavy and very stable. And I've been out in, when I was a bit younger, a bit more stupid, would go out in horrendous conditions where, you know, could have, in a lesser boat, might not have made it back. But I'll survive now because I've got my life jacket on, so who cares? Let's just sink. Alright, I'm going to start jigging this one around a little bit. Now these brown jigs that I've got on 3 of the 4 rods here, or 2 of the 3 that are down, I've caught massive squid here on these ones. So 33 centimetre hood, I've caught 3 squid in my life, exactly at that length, which is about the biggest I've caught. But I know there are 40 centimetre squid caught. And this is the time of year, middle of winter, that's when they come on. And that's why I want to be fishing this time of year. And why my monotonous videos might seem monotonous, just doing the same thing, but they will change. We've got the shit season coming up, sort of in spring, where there's nothing. Bit of flathead fishing maybe for flathead drift of shame. Comes on in sort of November, and then after Christmas you start seeing the, ooh, what have we got going on here? And after Christmas we've obviously got the summer fish. This is also the famous location where Mark and I had a whale swim right under the boat, which is one of the all-time coolest things I've ever seen. And if I can work out how to make the video editing software, I'll drop it in now and I'll show you the clip. We were basically over here. Mark had caught a rock cod and we were mucking around with that, and about 30-40 metres that way where I'm pointing now, a whale came up, humpback, and it swam to about 30 metres, about there. We're probably right here, exactly where we were, and then it looked at us, it turned sideways, it looked at us, you could see its eye. It flipped its tail and swam 2 metres deep straight under the boat. It was unbelievable, and it was one of the coolest things, as I said, I've ever seen, and it was a bit scary but exhilarating all at the same time. When the, you know, I don't know what they weigh, 20 tonnes or 30 tonnes or something. They're freaking huge. And to have that swim under the boat, you could see it turned upside down as it went under. It was really cool. So, obviously not in whale season now, unfortunately. They're all up in Harvey Bay making babies, I think. But they'll be back down when the weather warms up. And we caught some fish that day, my little leprechaun mate. And our incompetent mate Phil Dunn, who's fucking hopeless, caught fuck all. He was fishing down at Long Reef, I think, that day. And there was regular banter and phone calls going back and forth. Still all these birds are here. Now, other thing that's common here is dolphins. Very rare you come to this spot and at some point in the day you don't see a pod of dolphins. So where some of them come around, and the birds will often swim around the dolphins. There is some serious fish action happening over there. I should be towing a lure through there. Do I, don't I? Get ready. Of course, it would be something to do for a bit of fun. I'll get a couple of rods out. Just in case. And waters in here. Try this little fellow here. And if it doesn't do any good, we'll just come back and keep going on the squid. So what I'll do, you don't need to see this, I'll rig up. As soon as I'm rigged up, I've got these in the water, we'll go over and we'll pull the lure under where those boats are, birds. And then, so I'm just going to put this little baby on and I'll put a slightly bigger one and we'll see if there's anything there. See you shortly. Alright, just started off. I'm a little bit worried these are crossed over. I'm just going to bring this one in. It's swimming okay because I can feel it. I think we're probably okay. All right. Just had a take on this one. Don't know if the fish is still on. No, it's not. Bugger. There was a take on there. But by the time I fucked around and got everything done with the camera, it got off. We'll keep going though. Could just be weed. No, it's a fish. Oh! It just got off. Oh no. Chopper Tailor. Tailor and God knows how long. He has engulfed that. Alright. Well, that was a bit of fun. Feeling a bit seasick after that. But that little tailor will be my dinner tonight. People turn their nose up at them, but I actually quite like them. These sorts of fish, let's check on the cameras all wet, they like this wash, this foam, and a bit of protection. A few rock hoppers over there. Waiting to get washed off the rock. So when I was out wider before I started the camera, I can see the birds diving just off the point, and they're all circling around out of here. So I think I'll just shoot out here a little bit. Oh, they're dive bombing out here. Here we go. We'll go right through the middle of it. Hold on to your butts. We're out to catch some fish. Oh, this is exciting now. There's one on this one. Fish on. Alright, he looks a bit small. I'll let that one go. Now in winter, Tailor, you can get big ones. Real big ones. Big greenbacks. Could be something on this one. Yep. No, just got off. They're pretty soft mouths, it's pretty easy to rip the lure straight out. This one's only just going down here. They do get worked up by the motor. People think you can't fish there. That's rubbish, you can. There's one on there. Ah, it's just got off, I think. Oh, maybe not. Ah, there's one on there. It's only a little fella. You can see what they're eating, which is little fish. This one has done the same thing. He has got all three trebles in his mouth. I'm not going to be able to save it. And it's undersized. And this is the problem. There's one on that one. It's a bit better one too. That or it's jagged sideways, which sometimes happens doing this. Otherwise that'll be 3 Tailor, if I get it. Now, it's a bit close to that other lure, I don't like it when that happens. Bit on the small side. Filming. Thank Christ. God, that's a pain in the ass. Squidding. Finished the trolling section of the day. And I have the first squid of the day on. And I've followed my new golden rule of having the net ready. Nice size squid, can't complain about that. That is bloody good. On a fluoro, okay. Due note has been taken. This guy also has a full load of water, meaning he's going to do some squirting. There you have him. Beautiful. Now Katrina and I had squid for dinner last night. Stuffed squid, and it was bloody beautiful. So I've got 3 choppers so far sitting in here, and Mr. Squid. Nice feed of fish there, and I need to get